Alright guys, I just wanted to go ahead and record another video here real quick before I get running to work shortly here. Yeah, work a regular boring 9 to 5 like everyone else. But yeah, so oh yeah, I appreciate the positive feedback to the last video. Very much appreciate that, everybody. So I just wanted to go and do a quick video here. What I want to talk about today is I want to talk about a handful of cryptocurrencies that I feel like are heavily undervalued and are poised to probably go up a lot in value eventually here. Now obviously I'm no financial expert. I can't actually give you financial advice. This is just the stuff that I've done research on, I've watched, YouTube videos on, I've read articles about, and stuff that I personally have gone ahead and I've invested into, and I think that are reliable and going to take off. As always, I do advise that you doing your own research, see what you think. But this is what I'm looking at. These are my top, say, like three of my top picks that are under $1 each that I think have a lot of huge potential, along with like two other honorable mentions. The reason why I'm focusing on these lately, I've still bought into some of the more popular ones, but these coins in particular, I want to get in on coins that are cheaper in the ground floor, higher risk naturally, but high reward too if they end up taking off. Like ARC, for instance, I wish I had gotten in on that when it was even cheaper. But I grabbed a decent amount of that when it was under $1, and that's paid off there. I'm kind of hoping to repeat that. So that's what this is about. So anyway, my three picks here for coins that are under $1 that I think are looking really good. The first one is No Limit Coin. You may or may not have heard of this. This is another one of those coins that's meant to be the fantasy sports game coin. And all that is it's, it's basically a crypto. It's going to be used for fantasy sports. Now, likely you've heard there are a couple of others that are built for this as well. What No Limit Coin stands out for me is the fact that they're already being integrated into a lot of stuff. Like, yeah, fantasy sports soccer, you can already use it for that. NFL is coming soon, which is probably going to be huge. And if you look at their roadmap, they have a whole bunch of other stuff they're looking to roll it out into. Yeah, see, there's soccer, they're working football, there's cricket, basketball, baseball, hockey. And why do I think this is a big thing? Well, I think it's a big thing because fantasy sports is a huge thing right now. It has been becoming a huge thing for years. The reason why, if you don't know, is because in a lot of places, sports betting is largely illegal, so people aren't really able to do that. But fantasy sports in most places, I think it's only like legal in Nevada, but fantasy sports is legal in most places. Excuse me. And the reason why is because there's like some big ruling about it, and basically they're like, well, it's not it's not a real game, it's a digital game. It's all based on, percentages and numbers. It's more a game of skill than luck because you got to do your homework to figure out who's going to win. And since then, it's just been exploding. I mean, fantasy sports is huge now. If you go Google about it, let's see here. Wow, rise of violent theft. Not what I first thing expected to come. Yeah, rise of fantasy sports. Yeah, like there's tons of articles, people talking about it, hyper growth of fantasy sports and whatnot, about how it's just taking off. And I think that cryptocurrencies tied into it are going to be able to enjoy that. I think No Limit is going to be one that will definitely enjoy it, just because from what I've seen, it seems like it's a bit further along than most of the others. It's already being used, for one sport, like I said, and it's looking to be integrated into others in the near future. It's also proof of stake, which is nice. I like that a lot. By staking your amount opposed to having to mine for it, I think you get like 4% interest. If you do get this one, please avoid Yobit. I've never bought anything on there, but I've read so many horror stories. I refuse to ever use that exchange, so just for your own good, keep away. The main thing I've seen people complain about is just, You know, the support, they never get back to you. They take weeks to get back to you about all kinds of little stuff. And yeah, I wouldn't even bother. Well, bother. Wow. No, excuse me. But yeah, so no limit coin, I think definitely take a look into that. I think this is one that's highly undervalued right now. It's less than 20 cents. I think long term it's going to take off just because it represents a more convenient way for people to continue and play fantasy sports. You know, even if people they're not big cryptocurrency people, you know, there's just the convenience of like they say, you know, microtransactions, global accessibility. You know, there won't be a problem of like currency conversion or anything like that. You know, you can just use it to pay for, you know, playing from anywhere in the world. And I think it just has a lot of potential. The next one I'm looking at, this one I just came across recently. I've been doing some research. Is Bytom, Bytom. I don't know how you say that, but basically this is another Chinese-based cryptocurrency, which you know it seems like that's becoming a big thing lately. This one is very interesting. It's very technical, and I have to admit some of it is kind of over my head, to be completely honest with you. But from the research I've done and the reading I've done about it, basically, basically it's like they say, you know, it's like an interactive multiple asset type cryptocurrency. From what I see, it's almost like a combination of some things. It kind of seems to have like a little bit of like Arc, for instance, a little bit of Neo, like kind of all rolled together as one there. You know, they say it consists of three layers. Data transaction layer. You know, kind of like you can use it as a currency, a contract layer, an asset interaction. You know, they're really big on wanting to use this for real world assets. But I think that this one has a lot of potential here just because I don't really see it as a direct competitor like Neo, for instance. Neo kind of has its own, you know, smart contract, build things within its ecosystem type thing. This one looks like it's kind of looking to be a little bit different there. You know, that it's looking to kind of fit into a special niche area. And, you know, yes, you can use it for asset interaction with stuff from the real world, kind of like they're doing with Neo, but also it's supposed to have easy, like, cross compatibility with multiple things here, you know, including this, like, wallet they're looking to build, which I guess apparently this BIP 32 and 42, it's supposed to be extra secure. You know, it's compatible with like national encryption standards to very high level, including, you know, Bitcoin's SHA-256. Also, it's proof of work algorithm, which some people argue about if that's a good or bad thing. That's a matter of opinion. You know, I could see plus and minuses, but the truth is that a coin like this will probably attract people like miners to it more than, say, like Neo, for instance, which you can't mine. And that right there can generate interest also. It's also interesting because they've given a lot of thought. Because what this is I guess it's built in such a way it's already compatible with existing ASICs chips there. So that encourages, you know, large miners to go ahead and mine this coin, which, you know, is a good thing. The more people mining it, using it, the more the value will go up. Other things too. I don't fully understand what Open Data Index name means, to be completely honest with you. But yeah, oh yeah, and this is what really caught my eye. You know, DLT protocol allows interaction between a variety of assets. You know, trading flexibility. Basically, it's supposed to be very easy for it to be interoperable between different systems, different cryptocurrencies, and you can create tiny versions of it on their chain. They call it the X chain. I've done some research on it. You know, they say the team behind it is very solid. You know, supposed to be people with a lot of credentials behind them. I don't really feel like going to like really deep in about it, but if you want to research it, I suggest you will. But yeah, this looks like a very solid one to me. It's not even being traded on Western exchanges right now. It's trading for about 30 cents a coin. I think that this one is another one's very promising, a lot of potential, and I think this will take off. Just like I said, you know, you have kind of like a little bit of a combination here with like arcs, you know. convenience and inner flexible interoperability and whatnot. At the same time, some smart contract type stuff built into it. So I could kind of see this fitting into its own little niche area that I think will be good. Yeah, right now it's only on these Chinese exchanges, Bytom and Binance. I bought some on Binance. You can sign up there even if you're not, in China and it's in English and whatnot. But that was a good place to buy it from. It looks like their wallet's not done yet, but you can store it on like myethereumwallet.com, which is what I'm going to do. But this one I'm really excited about. As I mentioned earlier, ARC really took off, and I kind of think this one has a lot of potential to end up doing the same there. This next one I've already mentioned before in my last video, which is Cinrio slash AMP. As we all know, actually one other thing I thought I'd mention about Bytom. This is a lot of this is speculative right now. Obviously, like the other ones, we need to wait and see if they'll deliver on everything that they say they will. But keep in mind, this just came out less than a month ago, and it's already ranked 38, which is pretty good and pretty impressive. So that says something right there about how much confidence people have in this already, and it hasn't even hit any Western exchanges yet. Cinrio is another one. I'd mentioned that in my last review. I think, like I had said before, I think this one will take off. I've went ahead and stocked up on a little of it. I'm just going to buy and hold. I'm going to do that with all these, but this one I'm buy and hold, see where it goes there. The reason why I think this is good is just like I mentioned before, the social media meets cryptocurrency. I think it's kind of a way of the future. It's going to be a big thing. Cinrio is the first one I've seen since Steemit that I feel does it mostly right and has lots of potential to really take off there. So I really think that this will become a big one, especially because it's used for video platform, which I mean I like blogging a little bit more overall, but I do think that this is a lot of people like videos. Yeah, it's pretty convenient, it's pretty easy to use with their built-in plugin and whatnot, so I think it has a lot of potential to take off there. I definitely think it's overall a good one, and I'm going to be stocking up on a little bit of that too, because just like how Steemit, at one point was only worth 20 cents a coin, and now we're up to $1 a coin. I think Cinrio is going to see a similar path to slowly build up, but then eventually really take off there. Let's see, and you know what? One other actually totally forgot I want to mention that I'll just throw in there real quick is this Rise cryptocurrency. I went ahead and I'm speculating, grabbed a little bit of that too. I'd taken a look at it before and I didn't give it much thought at first, but looking at it now, I think it has a lot of potential. Basically, they're looking to build a universal like wallet, and ecosystem and whatnot. That'll be easy for everyone to get involved into cryptocurrency, such as, investors on any system at all to be able to store their cryptocurrency, developers to make it easy for them to get involved, into cryptocurrency on any system with, a variety of applications. It's a delegated proof of stake, kind of similar to ARC. So you don't delegate directly, you vote for a delegate and you get payouts through that there. And here's kind of like a roadmap of what they're working on, desktop, mobile wallet, a decentralized application with a multiple choice of code languages, smart contract builder, drag and drop, dev tools, developmental tools. Wow. Yeah, at first this one I had taken a look at it, I hadn't given much thought, and I just grabbed a few. But taking another look, I'm like, you know what, I could actually see this really taking off. Just because there's not exactly a whole lot of universal wallets that are really good right now. And there was that JDAX or whatever, but after that recent hack, I don't think anyone's has confident in them there. So that it has a lot of appeal to people. There's convenience to regular like investors or just casual crypto holders because ease of how to be able to invest on multiple operating systems and multiple platforms and whatnot. Developers, it's really going to appeal to them because it's similar to something like ARC with it, for instance. You got all these multiple programming languages that are already known, very convenient. They're saying it's going to be very easy to use as far as their smart contracts and asset tokens or whatnot. And then you have the delegate part, which that encourages people to participate in the network and be a part of it. Because I imagine that helping to forge the cryptocurrency is a good payout. Like I'm sure the ARC delegates are very happy right now when it jumped from 50 cents to a buck 50. So this is another one. I think this is forgot to mention this, but this is only like 10 cents a rise right now. I think this is another one that's pretty undervalued, and I think long term it will take off just because it's like ARC, it's an ambitious project. It's convenient, cross-platform. I think it's a really good idea, and I think I could see this one taking off. And the team behind it, seems like it's a solid team. They're very active and they're working on it continuously from what I've seen as well. So that's another one that I went ahead and I got into, and I think that'll be reliable. Other ones I wanted to mention, just kind of like honorable mentions here. One is this Qtum, not within less than a $1 range, hence why it's an honorable mention. But this is another one that I think is going to take off eventually. This works on a smart contract. Kind of similar. It's kind of similar to like, oh no, that's the wrong article. It's kind of similar to like Neo, if you will. That's like kind of like a smart contract type thing. But it's not exactly the same. Yeah, they're going for like decentralized decentralized applications and whatnot, and it's a Chinese-based one. Um, a lot of people have been talking about, if this competes with Neo or not. I mean, yeah, kinda, but again, I think the market's big enough that it's not like we're only going to see one currency to rule them all on every platform, especially just because we haven't seen as many cryptocurrencies out of China, and this is one, and this one is starting to generate a lot of interest, because it's supposed to be easily compatible, like it says with other blockchain systems there. It's supposed to be easy to build applications on and user friendly and convenient there. And there's just overall growing interest in cryptocurrencies built out of China there. So again, honorable mention here. This isn't one I grabbed a lot of, but I grabbed a little bit of this to go ahead and speculate on it because I think that it seems like it's a well-built one. And I think with the rise in Neo, it'll push interest to other Chinese-based cryptocurrencies, and I think this is one that's definitely going to benefit. Other two I want to mention, one is ADX, which I actually got into another one similar to this. Add shares, I think will take off. Basically, it's looking to create, decentralized ad-based platforms there, which I think that's a big thing just because if you know about the advertisement space, it's very excuse me. If you know about the advertisement space, it's very I don't know what's the word I'm looking for here. It's very cornered. A lot of the big players like Google and whatnot had advertisement cornered. This one kind of take a little bit of a different approach with their advertisement platform, which is something that I like about it. Like I said, they want to disrupt, existing advertisements. They're not looking to like sell user details. It's going to be, universally compatible. And the thing that really interests me too is the fact that it was originally built on the Ethereum platform, but just recently they switched over to Neo. It's actually going to be the first app that's, the first D app or whatever that's built within the Neo smart contracts platform. So I could just see as Neo takes off, an interest is generated in what Neo can do because most of the price is just speculative right now. It's not actually being put to use. Early adopters of it are going to take off, and I could see that ADX, already has seen some benefit from it, and that they will see even more benefit from it as people begin using Neo there. So, and I like the ones that are looking to shake up things with the advertisement industry and how ads are delivered to people, without compromising, user security. I think that's a big thing that's really going to interest people, especially like website owners and whatnot, as they're looking to shift away from places like Google. And the last one that I wanted to go ahead and mention was Waves. This is another one I had seen before that I hadn't given much thought, but taking another look at it, again, honorable mention, it's not below the dollar range, but basically they're looking to build a large decentralized, cryptocurrency platform network there. Which when I'm thinking about it, it sounds really cool. Again, very speculative here because I don't think anything has been super finished yet, but it looks like it's coming along here. And I have to say, all the things they're supposed to be putting into it, like, the multi currency law, a decentralized exchange, and portfolio control, decentralized voting. I think these are things that are going to really appeal to people, especially the exchange part just because as time goes on, we're looking for more and more alternatives and reliable exchanges. People have been kind of getting away from like Yobit and Poloniex and whatnot due to problems with them. When you're decentralized with this, it doesn't make you as vulnerable to a lot of the problems that some of the existing exchanges are having. Not to mention there's also interesting news about it that some large companies like Deloitte, SAS, and Russian Blockchain Solutions, they've partnered up with Waves to go ahead and use them to help provide ICO services. So that shows there's real interest in this cryptocurrency, for that platform that they're building there. So I think this is a good one. I think that it'll also take off there. Again, just speculative on these three kind of more honorable mentions there. I'm just gonna grab a little, hold on to them and see where it goes. But yeah, I just wanted to share that and my thoughts there. So if you have any thoughts or opinions, I would love to hear them. Please feel free to let me know. And I'll see you guys with my next video there.